Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is very rainy. You can probably hear the thunderstorm outside, but we're going to be watching a video called 28 Hours on World's Most Luxurious Train, the Venice Simplon Orient Express. So Orient Express, I know that it's a train. I'm not sure if it's like a company or like a type of train. I'm a little bit unclear, but I do associate that name with like luxury and like luxury trains, but something that's quite old and vintage. So I didn't really know. Apparently, like they are still around because again, I would think like that was like in the 1920s or something. I don't know. So I'm super excited. It's gonna be pretty luxurious, I think. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Today, I'm taking the world's most luxurious sleeper train, the Venice Simplon Orient Express, all the way across Europe to Venice. I'll be staying in the best room on board. And yes, of course, this includes free-flowing champagne, my own dining and living space, and the cherry on top, of course, an Italian marble ensuite bathroom. Step back in time with me on this iconic 28-hour journey, with dinner in Paris, waking up in the Swiss Alps, and writing postcards whilst gliding through the Italian lakes. I'll give you a never-before-seen insight into exactly what it's like, from the variety of bedrooms available, the stunning restaurants, and when night falls, we'll enjoy cocktails in the lounge car, to the sound of the baby grand piano.
How much does it cost?
Our luxury train leaves from Calais at 4:30, so in order to catch this, I'll hop on the Eurostar in London, and after a short ride under the English Channel,
I think it's really funny that he's like beginning his journey in England and like in a normal train, and he has to like go to like an old-fashioned train that obviously you can make. I'm guessing the speeds are not that big, you know, that fast, because it's gonna take him like 28 hours, which I think in a high-speed train you would get there, you know, in like 6. But you know, you're paying for some others. You're not paying for speed. It's more like a vacation and the experience, and not like, oh, I have to be there on Wednesday.
I'm met by the Belmont team in Lille and transferred by road over to today's iconic train. Hello there and welcome back to the channel and to a very special event today where we're going to be riding on the Orient Express. This is something I've dreamt about for many years, and it's probably the epitome of luxurious travel. So without any more to say, let's get straight on board. I also have a very special surprise in store for you.
They have a red carpet.
Can we just talk about how crazy this is? This train is... Oh my goodness.
That's oh my god.
How is this a train?
Okay. The space for the bed.
Struggling to process this. Bear in mind, a lot of my experiences so far have involved the likes of Amtrak. This is in a very different league.
Yes.
Right, okay, I need to compose myself. There is a rational reason for my unrestrained excitement here. I booked and paid handsomely for the twin cabin. Not in my wildest dreams did I anticipate an upgrade of this magnitude. Bear in mind, the Grand Suites retail north of 20,000.
Yeah, okay. It's, oh my god. Okay, the price tag on this is ginormous. It's 23,000 euros. Like, how much in dollars is like 24? No, it's less. No, it's more, right? It's like $25,000 or something. This is crazy. This is like one-way ticket, right? It's not even like, you know, it's not the turnaround. It's just a one-way. Crazy.
$1,000. So something I'm not used to at all is that my bags were totally taken care of, and they're currently up here waiting for me to unpack. So of course I'm not travelling as light as I usually would because I have another companion coming along, my lovely girlfriend Millie. Say hello, Millie. Oh, right, well, first of all, we have a pre-departure drink. Veuve Clicquot just here. Well is in there. We also have some caviar. So, Millie, what's your thoughts on trying caviar?
It's disgusting. Yeah, it's gross, kind of. It's not very good. It's very salty.
Given that we're in a suite now, this is the first of many champagne bottles we're able to consume. In fact, it's bottomless throughout the journey. This is complemented with fresh fruits and perhaps the best caviar I've ever had the pleasure of trying. So it's caviar time. This is the first on a train, and in fact I think it's the very first time that I've had caviar on the ground. Well, I can confirm I love it just as much on a train as I do on a plane.
I'll take your word for it. I don't really like that.
So back to our journey. The first segment will take us some 200 miles south to Paris, where we'll pick up the rest of the passengers. Currently, there are only 11 on board this huge train, where the staff definitely outnumber the guests. I feel like it's that time of the video where we need to have a look around the suite, because you've seen it in the background, but let's have a proper look around all the features, because it is utterly mind-blowing. And I've just been informed of some of the costs of some of the things. I mean, even the mirror that I'm resting my hand on just here, apparently that costs 27,000 euros.
Do not press your
I better not break it.
Exactly.
I'm in the Istanbul Grand Suite, designed and built by the finest artisanal craftsmen in Europe. The double bed, of course, being the main attraction on a sleeper train, but this wouldn't be out of place in a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aside from the light controls, the blue buttons dotted around the cabin are for your butler, who is on call 24/7. And as for the handcrafted wooden headboard, I can't begin to imagine the amount of hours that this took to complete. While your room is fully air conditioned with controls by the suite entrance, you can open the window for additional ventilation. This also provides an excellent vantage point for some of the more scenic parts of the journey.
Love it.
There's great storage too, with 2 wardrobes to hang your jackets, dresses and shirts. Naturally, as the rest of the suite, it's adorned in beautiful, highly polished wood. You also have a sofa, which I'm told will convert to an additional bed should you be travelling with a very lucky child, though this rarely happens. I'm actually taking a quick glance at the...
I'd be scared of bringing a child into this, because with all those expensive stuff, like, they're just gonna break it and then you're gonna have to pay it. So I think it's a huge hassle. And also, one thing I'm wondering is, it's only 28 hours. Do they have like longer journeys? Because it's like, it seems a little bit excessive, like the butler. I don't know, the bed, like, it's just one day. Maybe there are like longer trips. I don't know.
Breakfast menu now. This is very punchy. Caviar, lobster and truffle, to name a few.
For breakfast? Not my kind of breakfast, but okay. The bathroom is
an ensuite bathroom, because, you know, it's the Orient Express. Basically, it is dinner time in 15 minutes. So, I need to change. On the Orient Express, of course, as you've noticed already, you need to be relatively formally dressed. Dinner,
of course,
you need to be even more so, of course. So, this isn't going to quite cut it. Well, there we go. I have to say this is the most formal I've ever been on the channel, so do bear with me, but there is the request that you have to dress formally, or else you have to eat your dinner in your room. And whilst I do like my NASA hoodie, we'll make do with the NASA badge. And now for a quick word from today's video sponsor, Babbel. Babbel is my #1 language app. It uses award-winning tech with lessons designed by real language teachers, scientifically proven to get you speaking in just 3 weeks.
Gracias.
Given the amount of travel I'm fortunate to do, learning the local language is a must for me. I use Babbel's short 10-minute interactive lessons daily to keep my language skills growing. And what I love is that it's designed to prepare you for situations that you'll actually encounter in the real world, learning practical conversations in your chosen language to use on your travels. For example, when I'm home in between trips, I'm able to grab my daily lessons outside on my balcony with a cup of coffee. Por ejemplo, ¿dónde está la estación de tren? Of course, practice does make perfect, which is why I'll be continuing my daily lessons in preparation for my trip to South America. Babbel can be used to learn a new language for work, for travel, or simply as a new hobby. So do give Babbel a try and receive 65% off your subscription. Use my link down below to take you right to that discount. Thanks again, Babbel, for sponsoring today's video. Well, this is the event, isn't it? Walking all the way through the train. Thank you. We're going on a proper adventure, Millie. This certainly beats walking to dinner on Amtrak, eh? I can't say Amtrak on here. There are actually 3 restaurants on the train, though as only 11 passengers are currently on board, they've opened just one this evening, the beautiful and elegantly designed Côte d'Azur.
It's very pretty. Do you have to pay for dinner as well, or is it included in the price?
Launched for the 2022 season, we're among the first to try Chef Jean and Beur's culinary experience. Your dinner is included, though the option to splurge for caviar is there if you wish. As we're in a suite, I'll continue my obligatory bottomless champagne drinking. We're offered fresh Parisian bread, complemented by a saffron and orange butter. To quote Millie, this is the best bread I've ever had.
And I believe
As we
them.
wait for our food, we continue our slow trundle into Paris. To start, I have the lobster salad with avocado and burrata. Aside from being elegantly presented, it was absolutely divine. A delicate fusion of flavours, leaving me wanting more. But
Love
worry
burrata.
not, we're just getting started. Next up is the beef Wellington, or arguably a more deconstructed version,
I was
with
gonna say,
buttery,
yeah.
flaky pastry, and the beef itself tender and succulent, resting on a bed of mushroom.
I've never seen a
It
beef
was
Wellington
phenomenal,
like that.
comfortably surpassing any dish I've ever had on a first-class flight. I actually feel that's quite insulting to even suggest that.
No, it's compared to
Next
like
up
a
is a
restaurant.
choice of a cheese board or sorbet. I opt for the latter, feeling pretty full already and knowing dessert is just around the corner. It's fresh and importantly light, leaving me with a small amount of room for the finale. And just like that, we arrive into Paris Gare de l'Est. This is where the remaining passengers will board, taking guest numbers to around 30 in total. And as if by cue, our dessert is here. The tiramisu souffle, coupled with a mascarpone ice cream. The souffle is light, fluffy, but to me didn't have a huge level of flavour. Now it's time for the bill, but as we're a sweet guest, the additional drinks we enjoyed are taken care of.
Oh my god, I'd be so scared of paying more about that. I know it's way too expensive. I'd be scared of ordering something extra.
Out of the way, we've arrived in Paris. So we're here for 40 minutes. It's nice to get off the train, get a bit of fresh air, but just getting used to seeing this train parked up against all of the sort of very modern trains. It's like something out of a movie. I mean, realistically, Millie and I were just saying that we watched Murder on the Orient Express recently, which I hope doesn't happen. The point is just seeing how beautiful the train was in that movie and seeing it in the flesh here is just so surreal.
Imagine like you're like, oh, I want to stretch my legs, and then like the train leaves you after spending like $28,000 on this. What a nightmare.
Yeah, we got a little bit confused there. We've just got back on. Now we're going to head to the bar, but for some reason we walked the opposite direction. So time to go over to get a drink and make sure Millie doesn't get distracted by the boutique just yet.
Oh, there's a boutique. Oh my god. Yeah, so many drinks. Love it. Actually, I would love to have one of those cocktails. What is that? I want to try that.
There we go. Oh, would you look at this? It's all been turned down for bed. So I've noticed one thing, this gift. Now I assumed it would be chocolates. However, look what it is. It's a pen. Oh, I love it. It's a great thing, but I can't eat it before bed, can I? Now it is finally time to get out of this formal wear and, let's be honest, got a dressing gown to change into. So the other thing that's pretty incredible, and I guess makes sense given how much these sweets are, is this dressing gown, which is designed by Dolce & Gabbana, I can actually take with me home. I mean, that's a gift to remember, isn't it? I love it. Anyway, with that said,
you're paying for it.
Now this is much more like it. We'll have a proper full look around this bathroom in the morning. Of course, in the morning, I've also got to have a shower. And you know how hilarious that usually is. Also, just a side note, a massive thanks to Millie who's put up with all the filming today. How's it been coming along on one of these trips?
Amazing.
I mean, it's been good, apart from having to be, my camera girl.
I think it's worth it.
I'll catch you all in the morning.
It looks quite comfortable. I was gonna say like the space between the wall and the bed looked like quite small, and the bed didn't really look that big. But seeing them like two actual human beings there is like, oh no, actually it's quite perfect. Like it seems small, but no, it's actually incredible.
The next day.
Good morning. I've got to say, sleeping on the Orient Express, certainly among the more comfier way to travel by rail.
Oh, is this like a 500 like those expensive sheets that are like, I don't know how many threads, 500 threads or something. Oh my god, this village looks straight up like a fairy tale.
It's time for breakfast, and this is no ordinary affair. Eat whenever you want from frankly a huge selection of options. We chose to take breakfast at 8:30, as this is when we start to head into the Swiss Alps. I start with the lobster and avocado on toast, which aside from being the most beautiful breakfast I've ever ordered, tasted incredible. To complement this, I went with a fresh cappuccino as I move on to the next course. Naturally, you guessed it, poached eggs and caviar. This really is the breakfast of champions, complementing the outstanding alpine views playing out before our very eyes.
The best part about this is the view, like it's incredible. I love that just hanging out in this room.
Up into the Alps, which I'm so excited about. The views already have been unbelievable. I think they're about to get a whole lot better.
Oh my god, look at that.
It's now time to finish off with another coffee. They've made me a beautiful cappuccino, so now I think it's time to go and drink coffee in bed whilst we go through the Swiss Alps.
What a dream.
One of the best bits of advice I can give if you ever take this trip is to get up at a reasonable time. Besides paying an awful lot of money to be on this train, you don't want to miss the scenery in the morning. And like us, you can just have a coffee in bed, watching the world go by.
Yeah, you're not paying for sleeping here, like you're paying for the view.
Now it is time to have a shower. Now this is quite unique because most of the compartments on the train do not have a shower or access to one. Of course this actually does because it's the newer suites. Let's see what it's like.
The Grand Suite bathroom is unlike any on board a train. In fact, this makes my bathroom at home look pedestrian. Note the subtle Turkish influences and a nod to the suite's name, Istanbul. I just love the attention to detail everywhere you look. Even the mosaics on the floor, which by the way is painted, are absolutely stunning. Aside from the gradual rock of the train, you could easily forget you're on one. Right, the main event, the shower. With both golden rainfall and shower head attachments, it's a special place to be. Unlike the Caledonian Express, the shower provides a constant, warm cleansing experience with great water pressure, much like back at home. Shower done and feeling $1 million, let's get changed into my smart casual attire.
I get it, it's a train.
At this point, I'm reminded my Tims are far back home in England. They'll be back next week, everyone, don't worry. Instead of the amenity kit you get in the twin compartment, you get an entire drawer in the suites, complete with my favourite Marvis toothpaste. After another hour or so winding through the Swiss countryside, we're almost at the Swiss-Italian border, Chiasso.
Well, you went faster than I thought.
I'm sure it will come at no surprise to you, but it is yet again food time.
I'm helped down by our lovely cabin attendant, Antoinette.
Hi. Good, thank you. So we have decided to take the scenic route to lunch. Of course, we'd usually walk through the train. Let's walk outside. Now, we're currently on the Italian-Swiss border. I think we're here for about 15 more minutes. So it's a chance to stretch the legs. Some passengers have taken this as a chance for a smoke break because you can't smoke on the train. Neither of us do, so we don't need to worry about that. Anyway, we're going to walk over and get some food. You hungry?
I'm hungry.
I feel like all we're doing this trip though is eating.
What else are you going to do? It's a vacation. Wait, Steve.
Let's head straight to Étoile du Nord. I'm sure that's horribly pronounced, so sorry. Another one of the 3 restaurants on board the train. And given how busy it is, this is what it looks like when it's empty.
It's gorgeous.
Right, food time. Another solid menu today. And no, I'm not tempted with more caviar. I think I've had my fill until next week.
Okay.
There's more of the phenomenal Parisian bread and saffron-infused butter, which go down a treat with both Millie and I, whilst we wait for our appetizers. I've gone for the green asparagus. It looks, as all the other dishes do, stunning.
Delicious.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it, although I could only eat about half. Now I love asparagus, but I felt there was a little too much of a good thing, plus the blood orange was overpowering in my opinion. As we depart Chiasso, we officially enter Italy, third and final country of this adventure. Now for my favourite dish of the trip, the supreme poultry, or, well, chicken, with an albufera sauce, infused with a 100-year-old Armagnac. This dish alone has ruined chicken for me. Unbelievable scenes. As we trundle ever further into Italy, it's not long before dessert arrives.
It's so green.
Strawberries and vanilla vacherin. I'm so pleased this was on the menu. It's not something I'd ordinarily order, and I'd certainly jump at having this option again. The contrast of the creamy vanilla and sharp strawberry was simply sublime.
Everything's so pretty. It looks delicious.
Right, so lunch all out of the way. Now I think Millie and I are going to go and write some postcards, because on the Orient Express they have a postal service.
Okay.
About that in just a second.
Love it, actually. So old-fashioned. Are those plants? Are those live plants? I love them. Oh my god, you choose like your stationery.
So Millie and I have arrived back at the scene of the crime last night, the bar car.
A pen?
A pen? Look at that, I love that. And then some nice postcards.
I think this is such a lovely and thoughtful touch Belmont have thought of here. It's becoming a forgotten tradition, I feel. So I'm glad we're able to take advantage of this on-rail postal service. Next, we're heading to the only restaurant we've not explored yet, La Oriental. It's clearly inspired by the East, but sadly not open to dining during our trip. However, they have set up a bunch of board games, and I promised Millie I'd teach her how to play chess.
Well, that doesn't look like chess, Millie. I was going to teach Millie some chess, but that looks like checkers.
Checkers? I don't know how to play checkers, actually. It's very hard.
So I'm very happy to announce that I won 3 of 3. Millie's very upset. You know, poor Luke. No, I'm joking. It was Millie's first time playing, so we'll give her a break. Anyway, we've just arrived in Verona. Let's quickly head down to the platform, check it out, and head back to our compartment because it's time for afternoon tea.
Oh, afternoon tea.
Lily and I both couldn't remember this gentleman's name, but he was by far our favourite in the restaurant car. Amazing personalised service.
Well, Millie, have you been to Verona before?
I have not.
Well, new place. We've been advised strictly not to go any further away from the train because it will leave without us.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Run! I'm so scared. Run! Get out of here.
What's so nice about the Orient Express is every little detail is taken care of. The room has been made up again. It's just beautiful. It really does never get old. And I know, of course, given the price point, you do expect a certain level of attention to detail, but it is impeccable.
With that, yeah, you've guessed it, it's time for afternoon tea, complete with brioche bun, creme fraiche.
If I'm not mistaken, the cutlery has been different, like, at every meal. So I'm guessing it's like they have one set of cutlery specific for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner. Because I'm guessing, like, there's particularities between, like, the different types of cutlery. I love that.
And my requested Japanese green tea. There's also jellied fruits and cookies.
Well, this is very civilised, and I really don't want to burn myself. You know when in restaurants they say something's hot, don't touch it?
Yeah.
I want to touch it, but apparently... yeah, that's super hot. So I've got a little napkin. Oh, this is chaos. How am I going to do this? This is an accident waiting to happen.
Don't they have milk in their tea?
Post-afternoon tea, I think it's time to check out some of the other compartments, namely the one I originally booked, the twin room. These are laid out as a sofa during the day, but then bunk beds during the night. There's no ensuite toilet, instead just an in-room sink. These are the far more authentic versions of the sleeper compartments on the original Orient Express, and are what travelling in the 20s and 30s would have been like. The suites are only a modern addition for those wanting ensuite bathrooms and showers. If you're wondering where you'd go to the bathroom when staying in a twin room, these are located in each train car and shared between other sleeper passengers. These are kept very clean and well stocked with Lalique amenities throughout the trip. But will you ask, how did you and Millie get that swanky upgrade? Well, here's the thing, I paid for this trip just like any other passenger. No YouTuber shortcuts, discounts, or indeed point redemptions. Instead, I booked through my friend who runs a luxury travel agency, theluxurytraveller.com. You get what's called Bellini benefits when booking through him, which can result in space available upgrades in luxury hotels, and in this case, trains. The link to his website is down below.
We've just arrived here at the mainland Venice station. However, we're going across the causeway actually into Venice that you know Venice.
Oh, there's the town. Yeah. That's the Venice that I know.
Well, with that, we have arrived in Venice, and this is the unfortunate end of this incredible journey across the continent of Europe. And there we have it. Welcome to Venice. What an incredible journey that was. Thanks once again for watching, and I'll catch you all again next week.
Okay, yeah, I love this. I now want to go. I want to go on this trip. It sounds obviously like the amount. I think it's a little insane. Not gonna lie, like it is. But the actual compartment they booked, it was I think around 6,000. I don't know because it was in euros, so I don't really know specifically how much in dollars, but I think it was maybe let's say around 6,000, which I know, obviously, I'm guessing that was per compartment, not per person. It's gotta be per person. Actually, I'm a little bit unclear. I don't really know. Like, they didn't really mention that. And to come to think about it, also like the 20,000, like whatever it is that the other compartment cost, was that like the compartment, right? It wasn't per person. I hope, because otherwise, I was gonna say it's crazy. That would be insane. So I'm gonna guess, for my peace of mind, it's around 6,000 for per compartment, which I think fits 2 people, and the 27,000. For also again 2 people. Obviously the 20,000 one, it's that one that not a lot of people can afford this, and you can tell obviously it's like the height of luxury. So I know that it probably the sort of like not the market, but it's probably they're not expecting anyone to just go there because obviously the price tag is quite high. But I can see why they have like so incredibly like the amenities, like everything's so like you just feel like. I don't know, like you feel like a prince or a princess. Like, I don't know, you feel like you're a part of royalty because the whole, like the decoration, the whole thing, it looks so expensive. It doesn't just look luxurious, it looks expensive. So I feel like you would be there and you would actually feel like, I feel like I'm a part of like royalty because this is all like a lot of things. And it's like, oh wow, for a little old me, like it feels a little bit like that. And even the one that was like the cheap version, like it's still incredible. The only thing, obviously, it was like the bed, you have to, it's a sofa bed. Like they also, like they turn around into a bunk bed. Like it's not like you're just getting, you're just like sleeping on the floor. No, but it is, I think it's actually like worth it. And the bathroom, of course, I think that would be like the biggest sort of like downgrade because you don't get to shower and, you have to share the bathroom with the other passengers. Although I'll say, like, because it's so expensive, and they even mentioned themselves, like in the fourth, like during the whole, like, well, a good chunk of the journey, there was only like 11 passengers, and then it was I think around 30. So it is like, how many people can there be at like any given time? Maybe if you book at some in some like in a when there's like almost no one's booking there because I don't know, whatever, it's not like a touristy time of year. I think maybe you can get away with like, there was only like 8 people on the train, and then the bathroom is practically yours, because I don't know how it's separated, and I don't know. I hardly doubt that the bathroom is for everyone in the train. They must have like several sort of like compartments, and obviously like you would get depending on what you get. I know obviously they're not also gonna put like, oh, we're gonna open all the compartments if we only have like 15 people on board, but it's like that. And I think they know, they're aware that this train is not like fully booked, at least I think, because obviously the price is like so expensive that it's never gonna be, I don't know what the full capacity is, but I think it's never gonna be like, it's not like an airplane, I like a ticket, a normal airplane ticket where you have to book in advance because, it's sold out. I don't think that's gonna happen here, because obviously not a lot of people have the money to actually, to afford this. But I think if you have the money, even again the cheaper option, I would definitely take it. I think it's such a great experience. Not just actually the actual, again, like the decoration and like where you are, like physically, it looks very pretty. It's gorgeous. You feel like $1,000,000, and you're like, oh my god, and you have like. Everyone's always so incredible, like the attention, and you feel, I think they really do pay attention to that, obviously because you're paying like so much money, that the attention they give you as a customer, like it's gotta be like top notch, 5 stars. So for the experience of like where you are, and also like the food, it looks like he was like comparing it to like, like any like for like I don't know, a business class. It's like, no, in an airplane, no, absolutely not. I think it's more comparable to an actual meal that you get at like a 5-star, 4-star restaurant. Like that's the kind of food. It's very gourmet. So, the food, the whole where you're staying, and obviously like the incredible views, I think it's worth it. It's like around $6,000. I'm guessing per couple, which I don't think it's that bad. Am I crazy? Am I crazy to think it's not that bad? I mean, it's not like something that you're going to take like every single weekend of your life, but I think if you have a little money, extra money to spend, and you're looking for, hey, what can I do? Like, where should I go on vacation? It's like, well, have you thought of this? It's nice. It's only 28 hours, so you don't really get, it's not like, oh, I need, maybe for other vacations, you would need like more time off. This is just like a weekend. So, the only things that you're going to see in Venice, maybe you'd walk around, and obviously you're going to return to your home by plane ticket. Obviously you're not gonna return this, because again, it's just like one way. So to save a little money, I would definitely do that. It's like the experience is incredible. But yes, once I'm in Venice, like I take a look around the city, and then I'll stay one day, and then like I'll return home. And again, it was just like a weekend, which I think I love. It's like how many things that you can pack in like 28 hours. I think it's funny that they were like, he was like, I feel like the only thing we're doing is eat, because it's like, well, you're in a luxury train that is very like antique and old fashioned. What else are you gonna do? They have board games, which I think is like a nice experience. It's very fun, but again, it's not like you're gonna be, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what other things. I mean, obviously you can bring your iPad or something, but the idea is for you to like check out the train. You're not gonna be saying, it's like the whole thing about like sleeping. I'm not gonna sleep in. Obviously, I'm paying for the views. I'm gonna look at the views, and I'm paying for like the food. I'm not gonna be just staying in my room. Like it's not like a normal hotel or something, or like a normal train. A high-speed train, or just like a normal train where you just like, you care a little bit less, and you're just like, whatever, I'll just like read on the way there. It's like, no, absolutely not. In this kind of case, the actual, I think it's more about like the journey. How most people say like, oh, it's the journey, not the destination. Most times that's not really true, because it's like, no, I actually like, it's the destiny for sure. In this case, I think no, that really does apply. It's about the journey and not specifically the destination, because obviously you want to experience like life in this old-fashioned train, and not the actual, who cares where you're actually going. In this case, yes, Venice, obviously incredible city, but again, it's sort of like, I care more about the train and not the actual city that I'm going. But I have a lot of questions, like, does the train does it work like all the days in the year, and do they have, is that the only sort of like route they have? It was France to Venice, Do they have other sort of like, do they do other cities in Europe, or do you just have to be like just Venice to France and France to Venice? Would love to know that. Maybe there are some places that are cheaper actually, or maybe they're more expensive. I don't know, but you know, I loved it, and yeah, I would now want to go. I think it's absolutely worth it if you really have the money. So now I know that if I ever find myself with like an extra 6,000, 5,000 and a few pennies extra euros, like yes, and I have 20 around a weekend to spend, yes, I would of course do this. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.